everyone, it's Melissa. Today I'm going to talk to you about my skincare journey using Retin. I turned 61 this month. There's a bunch of kids playing outside. I turned 61 this month, and so I was kind of reevaluating my skincare. Do I need to do anything? Do I need to add anything? And I realized I had started using Retin when I was in 1988. I've been using it for 28 years. So that is a really long time. I started using it because my sister-in-law, who was a newscaster, started using it. And it was kind of back when they were starting to realize that Retin would also work on wrinkles as well as acne, because it started out as an acne drug, I believe, in the 60s. So I have been using it a really long time. I've experimented with it. I've gone back and forth with it. I've gone off of it for periods of time, never more than a year. I even did a video about the potential dangers of using Retin, which I have since changed my mind about because I've been using it just with very big success. But, after talking to my dermatologist about it. So I had some ideas about Retin, and that leads to sort of a disclaimer. I'm not a healthcare professional. I don't know anything about skincare or anything like that. So what I say is just what worked for me. So take it with a grain of salt. You need to take your own skincare system and modify it for yourself. My first suggestion would be to go to a doctor first and let the doctor go over all your medications and any kind of diseases you have to see if Retin would be right for you, because it could potentially, even though it is topical, we still absorb things, and it could interfere with other medications or other medical problems that you have. So anything that I say, it just applies to myself, and it's the same thing that my sister-in-law has done and other members of my family and some of my friends. So it's kind of what's worked for us, and so I thought I would, just kind of give you my thoughts. But please check with your doctor, and if I say, well, I did so-and-so, and your doctor says, no, don't do what that lady says, then don't do what this lady says. You do what your doctor says, please, because that worries me. I don't want anybody, doing anything that they shouldn't do. Okay, so that's my disclaimer. Just a few little steps of little hints that have worked for me throughout the years. So, like I said, take it for what it's worth. The first thing I would suggest, and this is what I did back in the day, is start simple. I did not use any acids. I did not use any vitamin C at first. You want to see how the Retin is going to do with your skin. So if you start adding like other skincare ingredients that are strong, like a vitamin C or an acid or something like that, and you get really irritated, which you might, you won't know if it's the other products, you won't know if it's the Retin, or you won't know if it's a combination of both. So I would really ease into it at first and just kind of take Retin out for a ride and see what you think of it. See how it would work for you. Just use it at night, maybe even just once a week, and see how it does. Test it out. Then maybe do it twice a week, and then just do kind of gentle skincare during the daytime. And on the other days that you don't use the Retin, just do gentle skincare. Just test out the Retin. It's kind of like when you have a baby, when you're adding foods, you just add them a little bit at a time to see if the foods will bother them or not. So it's kind of doing the same thing. It's, I have a very healthy respect for Retin. It is a strong product. There's a reason that you are supposed to have a prescription for it. It just, it's just worth having a very healthy respect for it. The next one is I would suggest put it next to the skin. And by that I mean, wash your face. If you feel like you need to use a toner, use your toner. But then I would always wipe it off. When I first started Obagi, I used the Obagi toner, but I always wiped it off because I felt like the Retin needed to get right next to the skin without any barrier in between it. And I know that they say it puts it back to the pH and all that kind of stuff, but I still would rinse it off because I could feel it on there. It just seemed to me that it worked a whole lot better if the Retin was just directly on my skin without anything interfering with it and without diluting it. I never added any moisturizers or anything like that. I did add some Retin I did add some Obagi products when I used Obagi to boost the Retin-A, but at first I just used the Retin-A, just a small amount, didn't put anything with it, put it directly on my skin because that was how it was meant to be used, just full strength right next to the skin. And like I said, start out slowly. Start out very, very slowly and see how your skin does once a week. I think putting it right next to the skin, it was a very important step to me because I have used toners or serums or something underneath and it did not work as well. It just really didn't. It needed to be next to my skin. Next one is a really hard one, and it is try not to moisturize. When I would put my Retin-A on at night, I put it on over clean skin and then I go to bed. I've tried putting moisturizer on top of it and it sort of diluted the effect. I wouldn't get as much peeling, and the Retin-A wasn't, on me, just wasn't as effective as it was if I just left it alone, put it on there, and then just went to bed and didn't put any moisturizer on. On the days that you don't use the Retin-A, then use a moisturizer, or in the mornings use a moisturizer. To get the full effect, for me, it seemed to work better if I did not put moisturizer on top of the Retin-A. If I just left it alone and went to sleep, then it would do a little bit better than if I put something over it. The next one that I always like to do is use a cleanser that foams. If you use a cream or a lotion, you get that residue left on there. If you can use a foam and wash it off, and use a toner if you so choose and wash it off, then you're getting a really, really clean slate to begin with. You're not leaving any oils behind. I never could get a lotion or a cream to cleanse well enough that it did not leave something behind. And then I felt like it was forming a barrier between my skin and the Retin-A, and like I said before, I wanted to get that Retin-A directly on my skin. I remember the dermatologist had my sister-in-law and I, he always had us to start out using Dove soap. He said that's all you need. If you feel like you don't get it off the first time, if you wear a lot of makeup, use it twice. Use Dove soap twice. And he said not to use a washcloth or anything harsh like a scrubby thing, not physical exfoliation. Just take the Dove soap and do your fingertips and wash it and rinse it. And then if you need to, do it again, wash it and rinse it, dry it off, put your Retin-A on, go to bed. He really, really stressed that. Use something that foams, something very, very gentle. He always suggested Dove soap. My sister-in-law uses baby wash. She foams it up and then puts it all in there and rinses it off real well. I like to use the Shiseido foaming wash. Just something that foams really, really seems to make a difference because you're getting it really good and clean. Not something that's going to be drying, like something really, really harsh, like you don't want to use, dial soap or something really, really harsh like that. But a mild soap or a mild foamy cleanser is what my doctor always suggested, and always worked really well for my sister-in-law and myself, and what we always used because we got it really good and clean, and then we were able to put that Retin-A right on top of it. There was no oil barrier or anything in between, and the Retin-A could get right next to the skin and start working. One thing that you can use in place of moisturizer that really, really helps a whole lot is the Hydrocortisone cream. It's just, you can get any brand over the counter. I use it a lot on my neck because I put Retin-A on my neck. So I use it a lot when I get irritated. I used it at the beginning when I first started using Retin-A. It really helps, and it isn't greasy. Just get a cream, it doesn't feel greasy, and put it on there to help with especially if you have a whole lot of irritation, which you could. I do have to say the cortisone cream really, really helps a whole lot. It soothes it. And you'll get to where eventually you won't have to use it, but it's a really good tool to have when you're going through that process of getting used to using the Retin-A. It really helps a whole lot. Okay, dealing with the flakiness and what do you do about makeup? And this helped me so much. It really did, because my face, like I said, I went into it full strength every night. 0.1, so you can imagine my whole face just about fell off. The thing that really helped me the most was using mineral powder. And the best that I used was the original Bare Minerals. What I would do is, and I've got some, I'll show you right here because I've got some flaking right there under my chin. So what I would do is I would take the Bare Minerals and their kabuki brush. I used it this morning, so it's kind of dirty, but their kabuki brush, that's really buff, and just, the way they would show, I would put it in there and really, put it in like that, do it around, tap it off, and then just really buff it into my skin. And it does an amazing job helping with the flakiness. It just makes that flakiness, I don't know if it's the brushing or the mineral powder or what, but it just makes that flakiness go right away. Just, buff it into your skin. Once you get past the phase of all the peeling and the irritation and stuff, then you'll get to go back to using any one that you want to. But I always keep the Bare Minerals and a kabuki brush handy, especially to use on my neck, because it really does a great job of, I don't know, it just really does a good job of getting rid of the flakies. So that was one thing that I was able to do. I was still able to use my foundation because I used Bare Minerals. I switched to it and used it for a period of time until I got through all that. Gosh, I guess I peeled for about, well, off and on probably for about 6 weeks. And then periods of time when I would stop using it. I mean, for a year I went on Lancome even, and used that for a year, but I always went back to my Retin-A and Abaji some in there too. But then I would start my peeling all over again, so I'd have to get my Bare Minerals and back out. In fact, I bought a new thing of it not long ago and start buffing it in again, because that was the only way that I was able to wear foundation and deal with the flakiness. So I remember when I first started using the Retin-A, I just piled it on my neck too, because I've always had these rings, these lines on my neck. And so I would pile it on the Retin-A, and oh man, it got really super irritating. It would just burn, when I would try to touch it. So I had to back off on that and, use my hydrocortisone cream and stuff. But yeah, one thing that helped with the neck is to not rub, not go like that, but to take it and the Retin-A and put it in your hands and pat it on like that. And that makes a huge difference. Just even pressing it into your skin, you're still getting the product on there, but you're not irritating your skin by rubbing it so much. So try pressing and patting it on your skin. Get it on your fingertips from your palm. Press it, pat it into your skin. And the next one is, of course, using a sunscreen. I really enjoy using the titanium dioxide and the zinc oxide the most, because of the fact that they don't seem to add any oil. I don't like adding any moisturizer to my skin. I don't use moisturizer now, day or night. So I really like this Neutrogena Sensitive Skin. It's the SPF 60 plus. I think the Bare Minerals has a little bit of sunscreen in it, but it's only SPF 15. But you should be pretty protected if you will use like a good sunscreen and then the Bare Minerals on top of it. That should really keep you covered and keep your skin from getting too sunburned or irritated, because it's going to be a lot more sensitive, especially once you get used to the Retin-A and you start adding like vitamin C and you start adding your any acids or any other products that you want to use. You run the potential of it really getting sunburned, so you have to be really careful with that. But that is it. Those are just kind of my, random thoughts about using, because I've used it so long. That Retin-A is the product, the hair, skin, body, whatever product that I have used longer than any other product. I have known Retin-A almost as long as I've known my husband, because we're celebrating our 30th anniversary and I've been using Retin-A for 28 years. So I've had a relationship with Retin-A almost as long as I have with Doug. So. But anyway, I hope these are helpful. Take them with a grain of salt. Always go to your doctor and do what they say. If they tell you to do something completely different, then be sure you do that. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to everyone later. Bye-bye.